In my previous video, I demonstrated how you can use the royalty-free sound loop packs from BandLab and how you can actually drag them from BandLab Assistant right into Cakewalk and create your own sound loop based songs. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave a card at the top right hand corner and a link in the description. On that video, I had several comments and some questions that I'm gonna try to answer them in this video. One of them is, can you use any other DAW other than Cakewalk? And the answer is absolutely, of course you can. You can drag those sound loops from BandLab Assistant to any DAW and most DAWs will work. And if they don't support drag and drop, then you can certainly download the actual sound loop files and import them into the DAW. Another comment and question I got on that video was about the possibility to change the chords being played in that sound pool. Of course, the quick answer is yes, you can. But while I was actually checking it out, I discovered that, just out of luck, that the pack that I chose, which is Winter Mountain, that includes drums, bass, pianos, keys, and lots of guitars, even though the information provided in BandLab Assistant, as well as the downloaded file, because I did download them as well, are incorrect. Not sure if this is apparent in the other packs. I haven't looked at them at the moment, but I thought I'll concentrate on this one. Here we can actually see that this electric guitar, let's just go down to electric guitar 1. It says C major. We know the tempo is 101 and that is correct. It says C major, but when we listen to it, that's C major. But this one here, that's different chords. Now it's changing. It's not just C major, it is based on C major. It's not C major. That's definitely not C major. As you can see, it's a minor chord. So what I'm getting at is, don't sort of trust the information being provided to you. You gotta have the ear and understand what chord being played. Later on in this video, if you're interested to find out how you can detect the chord being played in that sound loop and that doesn't match the chord being indicated here or on the file, stick around. But for now, let's say I'm just gonna select this one. Okay, I'm just gonna select that one into, just drag them there. Okay, so how to transpose that one to a different chord? I'm just going to hold, click, and then hold the control key on, because I'm on Windows, of course, because Cakewalk doesn't run on Mac, and let it go. Now I have 2 copies of it. So let's select the loop all the way there. Let's assume I want to change this chord from here. Now, of course, we can use transpose, and we can transpose probably depending on what key this is. At the moment, I'm not too sure. We'll find out later on. We can transpose this clip to another one. So I'm just going to click process, transpose, and I'm just going to select maybe 2. Yep. Or possibly 3. And just going to select elastic audio. There are other options available. You can try either to see which one works better for whatever instrument you are selecting. So now, fast forward. That's how it is. So we've changed it. And of course, we can, let's say, drag this one again. I always try to use the original and drag that across, move it across, and this time let's just transpose that. I wouldn't normally transpose from its original any more than sort of 4 or 5 semitones, because after that, past that point, they become really apparent that something is not right. So let's listen. Okay, so now we have 3 different chords being played and they're all minor. So if we want a major chord and we want to change, let's just go back to here and see if we've got, that's a major one. So let's just grab, yeah, let's move here. So now we have a major one. So this way we can actually transpose minor chords and major chords to create our own scale or progression of chords that we like. And let's say if we have, in this case, we've got a C major and a D minor chord. Let's just assume. And you want your song to be, C major, D minor, E minor, and let's say G major. What we can do is transpose the D minor into an E minor, and we can down transpose the C major, so now we will have 4 chords. I hope that makes sense. Even though the original sound pool pack may not have all the right chords that we want, but you can actually use the closest major or minor chord of that instrument and then transpose it to the one that you want. And that way you can create your own scale of the song using the transpose. And if you'd like me to have detailed demonstration of what I just described, leave a comment below, and if I get enough comments asking for it, then I will definitely do another video just diving into that process. So how do we know what chords they are? Well, stick around and I will show you. One way that we can actually find out what chords being played, especially if it's nice strum and gentle chords, is by the use of Melodyne running in the background using ARA. Now ARA is basically, without too much details, it's a way of 2 different softwares communicating with each other and passing on information. Now when you download and install Cakewalk, you can also download and install a trial version of Melodyne, which runs for 30 days. But what I have discovered that even past the 30 days, the ARA section, that communication, still works. Now I may be corrected on this, but to what I have discovered, that it still works. Of course, you cannot go into Melodyne and edit notes as such, but to convert an audio to MIDI, that is still possible. So we're going to use that process to convert our audio into MIDI, and then we're going to use the MIDI analyzer to find out what chord being played. So here are the steps. First, I'm just going to create an instrument, MIDI only, no instrument, VST instrument required at all. So it'll be quiet one. And I'm just going to click and drag the audio into MIDI track. And I'm just going to select the default. There are other options, but what we want is just the default or the automatic. So that way it will detect every note being played. As you saw at the top here, it converted. Now we've got some MIDI information of what Melodyne detected, what notes being played. Of course, when we play, we're not going to hear anything because there are no VST instruments and we don't require it. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to right click and I'm process effect, MIDI effects. And here uncategorized, I'm just going to go to chord analyzer. This is Cakewalk built in. And this is our chord analyzer. So it's going to listen to those MIDI notes and let us know what chord is being played. And we can audition it. Again, as I said, we're not going to hear anything. Here we have E minor. So we know this chord is E minor and not C major. And then we transpose that one down, so I'm not going to worry. And then let's have a look at this one. What scale is this one? Just going to drag it down. Okay. Again, right click. Process MIDI effects. Chord analyzer. I know it's a long process, but unfortunately that's... Yep, A major root is what this one is. So that's a major one. So there we go. That's how you can find out what chord it is. And just last step before I show you what we can do is here we can add a arranger part. And then we can call this A major. So now we know that's A major. I'm just going to use the arranger side to know what chord they were, and then I can drag and drop each one and duplicate and copy and create my songs. But that's just my way of doing it. Now, of course, there is an easier way, and that is unfortunately not in Cakewalk but in Studio One. We are now in PreSonus Studio One version 5 Pro Edition, and in this one we have the chords track, and by just simply right-clicking, we can select to detect chords. And as you can see, this is the same sound pool, and I have detected every single chord of every instrument being played there. As you can see, like that one, it has C major, E minor, F, and C, and E minor in 4-bar chord. So it's not one single chord that's being played. Continue. F, C, F, finishes off with a G. So there we go. So how do we do in this one? Let me demonstrate it very, very quickly. Again, I'm just going to drag that last one just anywhere for now, because it's already detected it, because it's already done it before. So I'm just going to, basically you right click and you select from audio, event, detect chords, and this will detect the chord and let you know. And now you know the exact chord progression of that 4-bar. So this one is playing E major all the way through, where a lot of other sound loops, they have completely different progression. So this might make creating the songs a little bit harder unless you are aware of the different chords and the scales and being played, and you have good ear to listen to, or you have Studio One Professional, which will detect all the chords being played, and then you can combine the same or similar chord progression in each of the sound loop being played. Then you can combine them and make them into the song that you want to create. Well, that's it for this video. I know it was a long one, but I hope it was helpful. Now you know how the sound pool packs from BandLab work in different DAWs, and how you can actually transpose and also find out the chord being played. And if you want even further chord progression detected, you may need to go past Cakewalk and go into Studio One, which will automatically detect for you the chord progression within the sound loop. I believe Cubase will also have very similar chord detection functionality built in. If this was helpful, make sure you give me the thumbs up. I love seeing how people like my videos. It encourages me to make more videos. As always, thanks for watching and have a great time making music. Cheerio, guys.